Maybe you're familiar with the concept of nihilism, the idea that nothing in this world actually matters. There's no morals, there's no meaning, there's no objectivity, and nothing matters at all. Well, in our society, there's actually been another type of nihilism that's been emerging constantly, and that's the idea of self-nihilism. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Striking Talks channel, and in this video we're going to be talking about the idea of self-nihilism. If you like what you're seeing on this channel, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, maybe leave a comment down below, and turn on those notifications. So, let's get started. Self-nihilism is the idea that nothing in this world matters except for our own standards. It doesn't matter how other people think about us, it only matters how we think about ourselves. It doesn't matter what morals or what standards or whatever other people push on us, only our own standards and our own values actually matter in this world, and that's the only ones we have to actually pursue. You can probably notice that there's actually quite some positive and some negative aspects to this idea of self-nihilism. It can be a very powerful and positive tool to help with self-growth and improvement, but at the same time, it can be used as a method to delude ourselves from actually doing our duties and from doing anything in the outside world because we're too focused and we only care about our own standards, which we continuously impose on the rest of this world. So how can self-nihilism be used as a tool for personal growth? Well, it can be used to put pressure on yourself and put pressure on your own standards so you can actually improve and achieve things. For example, let's say everybody in your life is doing better than you. Maybe they have a better job than you, they have a better pay than you. If you're a college student, maybe everybody else has better grades than you, maybe they have a better social life than you, they have a better family than you. Everything just seems better about them. And it's not like they just got their things by sheer luck. They actually worked and got their achievements. So instead of moping around and complaining that everybody's ahead of you, you can use self-nihilism as a system to tune out the outside world and actually improve yourself. Some of you might know about the saying that there's no actual external clock in this world. Everybody has their own clock, everybody has their own pace. There's not a certain age in which you must finish your degree, get a job, or get married, and do everything else you need to do in life. If you follow your own standards and you know you are improving and growing, that's all that matters. And you can use this self-nihilism idea to, of course, push yourself towards self-growth. If everybody else is doing better than you, it's alright if they're ahead of you and you have no chance of catching up. Just focus on yourself, focus on being happy, your personal happiness, and you will succeed. Focus on your passions, just keep doing what you love, and just keep pushing through and making yourself a better person day by day. Now, it sounds all great and handy-dandy and positive until you realize that it can actually be used as a tool to delude yourself. If you turn self-nihilism into a delusion, what's going to happen? Well, if you decide not to focus on your grades, even if you're working hard and you're not getting good grades, if you still don't decide to put in more work to get, a B or an A or whatever you need, you are going to be worse than everybody else. Unfortunately, as unsettling as it sounds, there is a social standard and an untold social ranking in this world that ranks people from being the best in the world to being the worst in the world. Of course, these ranking systems obviously vary. It's not like there's only one metric. There's money and other arbitrary measurements. In the system of capitalism, money is used as the universal metric. The more money you have, the more valuable you are to society because you've clearly worked hard and made your way up to the top. And of course, there's other different attributes that can be used as a ranking system. But whether you like it or not, there is an untold external ranking system that is constantly acting upon us. And when you delude yourself with self-nihilism, you are breaking out of this mold and you're just focusing on your own standards and going against the drive to push yourself to get higher and higher ranked. While it seems like a good thing to bust yourself out of this ranking system, going against this ranking system will actually harm you in the end. For example, if you decide not to focus on your grades in school, even if you're actually working hard and you're still getting bad grades, that's still not enough. If you're not getting good grades and you're feeling good inside because you're working hard, that's not going to get you anywhere. Even if you are working hard, well, the guy who's getting an A is also working hard. And if you keep focusing on your own standards and not the external standards, well, the numbers are going to show. You're going to have a worse grade than this person. Because you have a worse grade than this person, you're not going to get as good of a job as this person. And because you don't have as good of a job, well, there's a good chance that your life quality might be less, and then so on and so forth, and it just snowballs into a huge effect. Of course, it can continue to get unhealthy if you swing from self-nihilism all the way back to comparing yourself with other people again, One second you were only thinking about yourself, and the next second now you're constantly focused on being better than other people, comparing yourself to other people, and seeing where you lie in the social spectrum of this world. And what's going to happen? You're just going to get stuck in this nihilism loop where you're going around in circles over and over and over again. You're constantly comparing yourself to others, and then you're deluding yourself with self-nihilism. You're comparing yourself to others, and then you just keep deluding yourself. And this is what happens over and over and over again. I think we can more clearly see the two contrasting forces with this idea of self-nihilism. Of course, it can be a very powerful tool, as I said earlier, but we can see in various aspects of society, we just use it to delude ourselves. As long as we're happy, we're feeling good, everything is alright. Another point I want to make regarding these social standards is that people feel that they should be rewarded based on their own standards and how much work they've done to themselves, but not actually based on how much work they've done to the outside world. I'll give you an example. Let's say you have an alcoholic who manages to get himself out of alcoholism. That's a pretty big achievement for him. He probably had to work to get himself out of it, go to rehab, break some bad habits, and then he had to fix his life and turn it around. And then let's say you had an average Joe who managed to start a company and rise up. Well, both of those to each individual might be very noble achievements. However, we can see that to the external standard, one achievement is clearly bigger than the other achievement. Of course, getting yourself out of alcoholism is great. You might feel very good inside, and your personal standards might be doing very well, and you're feeling happy. But that doesn't mean you should stop right there with your life. Yeah, I understand that you probably did start off at a lower place compared to your average Joe, but you should still continue to push yourself, even if you do feel good inside. There's still an external standard, especially with our capitalistic system that we have in our society, where you need to keep pushing yourself and do more work to get yourself higher up to the top. It's the same thing with grades. Yeah, maybe you are just happen to be a worse student, and no matter how much work you put, the highest you can get is like a C or a B. But guess what? If you want to compete in this world, you can't delude yourself and think, as long as I've done my best, it's all fine. You have to keep doing the work. Best is not enough. You got to keep doing more and more work, get yourself on par with the A-level students, the students who keep getting A's, and now you'll be meeting the external standards in this world. Aside from external standards, we've noticed that the idea of self-nihilism has actually appeared in some other facets of society as well, especially when it comes to fixing problems, whether it be personal or global problems in this world. We are told that if we push on our internal standards and we're feeling good and we feel valuable, then all the problems are solved. We should actually not take steps to solve our physical problems, and instead we should just shift our mindset, focus on our own internal standards instead of the external standards, and everything will be alright. And I'll give you an example right here. Let's say you have an overweight person. Oftentimes what our society tells them is to feel proud of your body, feel good about yourself. Don't feel ashamed, which of course, I do not support people who try to make fun of somebody else because of their body type. That is absolutely disgusting to do. However, you should not delude that person and tell them a lie and that they should feel good about themselves and just personally change their internal standards with self-nihilism so that they feel good internally even if they don't meet any external standards. What do I mean by external standards? Well, in this case, it wouldn't necessarily be an external standard since it's only for that person's personal benefit, not for anybody else. That person should still work to solve their problem. Being obese is clearly a health problem and can cause very many problems in your life. It is a medical issue to some people. We should encourage them to work out, not make fun of them, but we should encourage them to work out, change their diet and actually fix their problem in a systematic way instead of just telling them positivity and tell them that if they just adjust their personal mindset and feel good in their body, everything is solved. If somebody is struggling to get a job, don't tell them to just feel grateful about the job that they already have and they're not able to rise up to the top of the pack. Also, a topic that I'm probably going to talk about in another video, telling somebody to be grateful is probably one of the most condescending things you could tell someone. But getting back to what I was saying earlier, you can't just tell somebody to be grateful for the job that they already have when they're not able to get hired by some other top jobs. Instead of telling them to follow self-nihilism and make sure that their own personal standards align with what they already have, and their own personal standards ensure that they're happy at this current moment, they should actually fix their problem in a systematic way, get their lives better, learn more skills so they can actually get that higher paying, higher tiered job that they desire. So in summary, we can see that self-nihilism has some very positive and some very negative impacts in our current society, whether it has to do with personal improvement, how society views different people. It's a very important pattern that I've recently noticed in society. It somewhat runs complementary to the idea of traditional nihilism, but it's also different in the sense that there's actually some value placed by some party. Overall, if you're going to choose to be self-nihilistic, make sure you only use it for personal growth purposes to improve yourself and to help your friends. Don't use it as a way to delude yourself or delude your family members and friends into doing things they shouldn't be doing. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed what you saw today, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment down below, turn on those notifications, and peace out. Have a great day, folks.